you're gonna wanna know these reasons why maybe you shouldn't move from LA to Claremont, California, or from other areas. And the last two reasons probably gonna make the biggest difference and have the biggest impact for you on whether or not you actually wanna move to Claremont. Now here in Southern California, the cost of living has gone up. So a lot of people in Los Angeles are kind of feeling they're getting squeezed out. Rents are skyrocketing, housing costs are skyrocketing, and they're like, you know what, I wanna move to the suburbs of LA County. I wanna move outside of Los Angeles, city of Los Angeles, maybe even consider like the Inland Empire, right? So a lot of people are thinking, well, what about Claremont? We've been there a few times, it looks pretty nice. Let's go ahead and move there. Maybe we'll be able to save some money. And that's gonna be one of the things. It's not that much cheaper than a lot of places in LA. So maybe, yeah, you get a little bit more bang for your buck, but money-wise, you might not be able to put a lot more money in your bank account at the end of each month. So an example, there's some homes in LA that you can find at this price, and those probably similar homes will go for this price. So what's the difference? I mean, you're just in Claremont versus in LA. So that, if that's a good lifestyle change for you, then yeah, you're gonna want, then maybe consider it. Other than that, you're not really saving anything by moving out here. Other costs that are the same would be like your electric bill's not gonna change, your gas bill's not gonna change, your phone, your insurance, all those things. Childcare costs, you know, still $1,000, $2,000 a month per kid. All those costs, they're pretty similar. So you're not gonna be really saving any money moving out to Claremont. So you better be moving out here for maybe a different reason. How do I know this? I'm a real estate broker here in California. I help people move, buy homes, sell homes. And if you're looking for the right home in the right neighborhood for you, go ahead and reach out to me, send me an email, send me a text. And if you're brave enough, go ahead and give me a call. My info's right here. I'm gonna help you find the exact property that matches what you're looking for. Another issue that's plaguing Southern California, and Claremont is not immune, is homelessness. Recently, they just started to implement a new homeless shelter, homeless housing, and the people here, they're fighting against it because, you know, people want to help the homeless, but just not in their backyard. That's just how it is out here. So is it going to be built? Are you going to live next to it if you move out here? Maybe. In the description, I put a link on where you can find more info of this new housing development that they're putting up. And yeah, there's homeless people all over Southern California, including Claremont. So if you want to get out from there, now it may not be as prevalent since Claremont's kind of a small community and they kind of do a decent job of keeping their homeless population down. How they do it, I don't know. And subscribe if you want to know exactly what's going on in every neighborhood, community, what it's like to live out here in the Inland Empire and eastern side of LA County. That's what my channel's about, so go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Here's another reason why maybe you shouldn't move here if this is not for you. Politics. That's another reason why you may not want to move out here. You may think, well, I want to go more inland, and I heard that more inland is more red. And it is, but not to the degree you think. It's becoming very blue, just like the rest of the state. Now, if that's not for you, then don't move. Find someplace else. If it is, great. So according to bestplaces.com, very blue. Democrat all the way down. Another thing to consider when you move out here is the traffic. You're not gonna wanna sit in that traffic for 1-2 hours if you live in Claremont and work like in downtown LA or like Santa Monica. And I know there's people that make that commute and it's really tough. I mean, you're spending 2 hours going, 2 hours coming back. If you are okay with that, great. But if not, you're gonna be surprised how long it takes to get from Claremont to parts of LA. Another thing you're gonna wanna consider before you move out here from Los Angeles is traffic. If you work downtown LA, Santa Monica, on that side, and you wanna live here and work out there, yeah, you're gonna be sitting in traffic. The only way to beat it is that you're gonna have to leave like at 5 a.m. Maybe you ride a motorcycle, and that you're coming home really late after it dies down. But come 7 a.m., 6:30, yeah, all red. When you go on that Google Maps, it's gonna say red, red, red. And it's gonna take you 1 hour, 2 hours to get to where you're going every single day. So maybe you could take the train in. It takes about an hour from Claremont to Union Station. During rush hour, it's like they come by every like 20 minutes or so. So maybe that works for you. But if you need to drive out there, yeah, you're gonna be sitting in traffic. So here's another thing. Claremont is a college town. What does that mean? That means you got a bunch of college kids running around, a bunch of their parents running around, a bunch of professors running around, everybody's running around, has to do with the college. Claremont is home of 7 major colleges, 5 undergrads, 2 graduates. They're pretty prestigious schools, you know. They're not like University of Laverne where I graduated from, right? But they're ranked high, you know, higher than Laverne in some cases. What does that mean? Yeah, there's more nightlife, there's more restaurants and more shops, there's more catering to the college age community. So that's good. They're also catering to that professor and college staff community as well. I go there for fun. I go there to have dinner, hang out, walk around, lunch as well. And there's a lot more options, a lot more mom and pop shops. So those are some benefits, but just keep in mind that, yeah, the demographic that lives here in a college town. So you're not gonna find any like frat rows and these college parties and, you know, crazy partiers like that, like we see on TV. So you're not gonna find any of that here, but just so you know, don't be surprised when there are, yeah, a lot of college kids around here. So living in Claremont is like living in an HOA, almost. They have some funky rules, and yeah, your neighbor's gonna be probably the first one to rat you out if you're breaking them, because everyone has to abide by them, so they're not gonna let you slip on those, from what I heard. So what are they? Number 1, I say the weirdest thing is that there's no fast food drive-thrus. Now, sometimes I get home late, I wanna stop and get me some McDonald's, drive through it. In the main area of Claremont, that doesn't really exist. There's one in the south side by Pomona that does, but in the main area of Claremont, doesn't exist. You're not gonna find any fast food drive-through areas. Yeah, you have some other drive-throughs like banks and pharmacies and things like that, but like a fast food drive-through, you're not gonna find that here in Claremont. Second thing is watering. If you want a green lawn, they don't allow you to water your lawn as much as you like. So a couple of years ago, when there was a drought, you were able to water 1 day a week for 8 minutes, and that's it. And now, since the drought is kind of over or not as intense, they allow 3 times a week for 8 minutes. So if you want a nice green lawn and it takes up a lot of water, you're not gonna be able to do that here. But you will be able to change it and have native plants, drought tolerant plants. Now I personally like that. That's what I have in half of my front lawn in my house. I get a lot of hummingbirds and bees and weird looking insects and butterflies. Looks pretty cool, I like that. You're gonna see a lot of that here in Claremont. Not so many lawns though. They have a parking rule where you can't park overnight. You gotta get a special pass. And so they keep the streets really clear, which something, maybe you like that. But if you're like, no, I want to just park in front of my house, go inside, sleep, come out. No, you gotta park in your driveway, no overnight street parking. You gotta pay for your permit and they'll allow it. But you know, again, another hurdle you have to go through. And I would say this last reason, it's gotta be the biggest reason that you don't wanna move out here, is because there's a lot of wildlife. We're right up against the mountains. Bears come down, coyotes come down, and if you're looking for the right home in the right neighborhood for you, go ahead and reach out to me, send me an email, send me a text. I'm gonna help you find the exact property that matches what you're looking for.